Glenn Miller lost his life while serving his country. On December 15, 1944, he boarded a plane in England, heading to Paris to bring his band to perform for American soldiers who had just been freed from Nazi control. But the plane never reached its destination. It disappeared over the English Channel, and Miller was never seen again. Major Glenn Miller was not just any musician. He was the leader of the U.S. Army Air Forces Band during World War II. Known for famous songs like In the Mood and Moonlight Serenade, Miller's music became the voice of the American spirit during the war. He had given up a hugely successful and profitable music career to support the troops, boosting morale through live radio shows and performances. On the morning of his last flight, Miller was on a small plane called the UC-64A Norseman. It was a cold, foggy December day with low visibility. The plane took off from Twinwood Farm Airfield in England with Miller, pilot John Morgan, and Lieutenant Colonel Norman Bessel on board. Shortly after takeoff, the aircraft disappeared without sending a distress signal. No wreckage was found. No bodies were recovered. With no physical proof, many theories started to spread. Some said that Miller's plane might have been hit accidentally by bombs dropped by Allied planes returning from a cancelled mission. Others believed he may have been a secret agent and was possibly assassinated. These ideas grew because there was simply no evidence to explain what had really happened. In recent years, researchers have tried to solve the mystery. One of them, Dennis Sprague from the Glenn Miller Archive at the University of Colorado, studied old military reports, weather records, and flight logs. He believes the most likely reason for the crash was ice. The freezing weather might have caused ice to form in the plane's fuel system, which would have caused the engine to stop suddenly. If that happened, the pilot would have had only seconds to react, hardly enough time to save the aircraft. Then came an unexpected clue from the past. In 1987, an English fisherman named Mr. Fisher was fishing in the English Channel when he pulled up part of a wrecked airplane. It looked old and was tangled in his net. He reported it to the Coast Guard, who told him that if the wreck was from World War II, it might be considered a war grave. Following their advice, he let it go back into the sea, but he kept a record of the exact location. Years later, Mr. Fisher saw a picture of the same kind of plane Glenn Miller had flown, the Norseman, and realized that the wreck he had seen looked just like it. What stood out to him was the specific design, including its steel tube body and the engine model, which was a Pratt & Whitney Wasp. His information reached a group called TIRE, the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, known for their work on other famous cases like Amelia Earhart's disappearance. The team, led by Rick Gillespie, found the clue very promising. In 1944, Miller's plane was the only Norseman with a Wasp engine that had gone missing in that part of the channel. So if they could find a wreck matching that description, it would almost certainly be Miller's. But finding it would be difficult. Most parts of the plane, like the fabric covering and wooden wings, would have rotted away after decades underwater. Only the steel frame and engine might still be there, likely looking like random scraps on the seafloor. That's why TIRE plans to use advanced tools like side-scan sonar to search the area again. This kind of technology helps scientists see the shapes and objects at the bottom of the sea. If they spot something interesting, they will send a remote-controlled robot to take close-up photos. If it shows the Wasp engine and steel frame, they'll know they've found the missing plane. Even if the wreck is confirmed to be Glenn Miller's, lifting it from the ocean would be very hard. The channel is one of the busiest waterways in the world, and the spot where the plane likely crashed is about 130 feet deep. Also, if the site is declared a war grave, it might be illegal to disturb it. Over the years, many false stories and conspiracy theories have clouded the truth about Glenn Miller's death. One of the most well-known is that Allied bombers returning from Germany dumped unused bombs into the channel and accidentally hit his plane. This theory became popular in the 1980s, but new evidence suggests it may not be true. Dennis Sprague's research points to bad weather and icing as a far more likely and tragic cause. Although the full story may never be known, new clues and better technology are bringing us closer than ever to solving one of the greatest mysteries of World War II. Glenn Miller wasn't just lost in the fog of war. He became a symbol of dedication, sacrifice, and the power of music even in the darkest times. logs and radar data seriously challenged that idea. According to the research, the Norseman's flight path and the return time of the bomber squadron did not match up. In other words, Miller's plane was not in the area when the bombs were dropped. It is possible that a different aircraft was flying there, which led to years of mistaken identity. Another theory suggests that Miller might have been involved in espionage, using his position as a military band leader as a cover. This idea probably comes from the fact that Miller participated in radio broadcasts aimed at German listeners and worked closely with people like British actor David Niven, who was rumored to have intelligence connections. While other entertainers, such as Josephine Baker, have been confirmed to have worked as spies during the war, there is no solid evidence linking Miller to any secret operations. Researchers like Dennis Sprague and other respected historians believe that these conspiracy theories only distract from the more likely explanation. Miller probably died in a tragic aviation accident caused by bad weather. Sprague began his investigation at the request of Miller's son, Stephen, who was tired of wild rumors and just wanted to know what really happened to his father. Now it's your turn to share your opinion. Do you think we are getting closer to solving the mystery of Glenn Miller's disappearance? Share your thoughts in the comments below.